The last micronutrient toxicity that I want to describe is copper. And this is the last one because this goes hand in hand with the micronutrients that we discussed in class in terms of deficiency. In this case, toxicity. And when we see copper at toxic concentrations, we oftentimes, like all the other toxic elements, or when they are toxic, we see stunting above and below ground. In terms of copper, you may see wilting like you see in the picture on the left-hand side. That is a telltale sign of an issue with copper. And it may look like an iron deficiency, like you see in the picture of corn on the right, except for the fact that the deficiency it's over the entire plant, and it's not just on the younger leaves. Sometimes we'll see copper toxicities in areas where fungicides are applied that contain copper. And so instead of the leaf wilting or looking like an iron deficiency over the entire plant, the leaf might actually turn white, like you see in the bottom right-hand corner. And that's simply due to over-application of copper-based fertilizers. Sometimes this happens um, in viticulture or other, say, fruit trees. So I have some pictures, and the picture of the corn on the previous slide came from a copper toxicity in southern Idaho in an area where the soil pH is above 8. And so the copper toxicity, when I first saw this plant, I knew it was suffering from something, but it wasn't iron. And in fact, if you look at the leaves, it looks a lot like iron, maybe manganese, but it looks a lot like iron, except for the fact that it's over the entire plant, as you see in the top left-hand corner or in this bottom left-hand corner. And if you were to look at the roots, they look a little bit different here. And if this was this is a poor representation of the roots, but somebody just pulled the roots out of the ground or pulled the plant out of the ground. The root that's normal, it looks somewhat normal, nice and light colored. The affected plants, in terms of roots, especially this root system on the right-hand side, is darker in color. Some of the roots just may look thicker. The overall root system certainly doesn't have as much lateral roots as compared to the normal root on the left. And so I'm going to share with you in this unit the investigation that we performed to prove that it was a copper toxicity.